In this video, we are going to learn about the cardiovascular system and how it operates. The cardiovascular system has four chambers: right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. The cardiovascular system, which means the heart, has three layers. First layer being epicardium, second layer being myocardium, and the third layer being endocardium. Before we move any further, the important thing to focus is arteries and veins, which are responsible for the blood flow. Arteries being responsible for carrying blood away from the heart, and veins being responsible for carrying blood towards the heart. Another area of attention becomes the components of blood, which are plasma, which contains approximately 20 or 25% of the blood, then the WBCs, also known as leukocytes, and RBCs, which are also known as red blood cells or erythrocytes. Now moving towards how the blood is supplied throughout the body. Blood enters through superior vena cava and inferior vena cava to the right atrium, which then passes through the tricuspid valve, which then enters right ventricle. Moving forward towards how the blood is supplied throughout the body. Firstly, deoxygenated blood enters superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, which then enters the right atrium. After getting to right atrium, it then travels through the tricuspid valve and then enters through the right ventricle. After getting to the right ventricle, it then follows the pathway of passing through the pulmonary valve and artery, and then getting to the lungs. Important focus area here is that pulmonary artery is the only one artery which carries deoxygenated blood. However, the other arteries are responsible for carrying the oxygenated blood. After getting to lungs, the blood is oxygenated and carried through the pulmonary vein, which is the only one vein which is responsible for carrying the oxygenated blood. After that, it reaches the left atrium and then going forward to the left ventricle, then to aorta, and then the rest of the body. And this is how our rest of the body gets oxygenated blood, which is also known as systemic circulation.
So moving forward, in this part of video, we'll talk about coronary heart disease. And the first, we'll talk about heart attack. Heart attack occurs when oxygenated blood gets blocked and heart can't get oxygenated blood. Heart receives the oxygen-rich blood through coronary arteries. In this disease condition, the waxy substance gets deposited blue, that's called the plaque, in a coronary artery, which causes blockage, and then that's the area of blocked blood flow, so that heart muscles can get oxygen rich blood, and that results the heart to stop and cause attack. Next coronary heart disease is sudden cardiac arrest. So this disease, there is a loss of heart function in a person who may or may not have been diagnosed with a heart disease. As we know that our heart has its own electrical system that generates electrical stimulus and signals that makes heart work. In this disease condition, the abnormal electrical signals is sent through the nodes, which causes disorganized beating and eventually causes heart to stop. That results in sudden cardiac arrest. This stopping of heart causes vital organs and brain to not to receive the blood, and then they suddenly stop working, causes person to get shut down. Now the third coronary heart disease we're talking about is heart failure. Heart failure is a result of heart being unable to pump the blood as per the body need. We can see there enlarged heart ventricle that is due to the inefficient pump, and Enlarged ventricle is due to inability of ventricle to pump the blood, and blood gets deposited in the ventricle. Heart failure results in tiredness, reduced inability to do physical activities, and shortness of breath. So we've come to the end of our video. Throughout the video we talked about cardiovascular system and the coronary heart diseases. Hope you gained a lot from our video and enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.